Welcome to part 2 of the Basic Awareness of Child Safeguarding presentation. This is part 2 of 4, and you should have viewed part 1 before you view this video. Let's look at what we mean by harm. These are the definitions of harm and significant harm as defined by the Children Act. What do these mean in practice? Take a look at these examples, where a one-off incident is compared to an established pattern of behavior. Working together defines 4 types of abuse. These are physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect. Let's take a look at each of these in turn. Physical abuse may involve hitting, shaking, throwing, poisoning, burning or scalding, drowning, suffocating, or otherwise causing physical harm to a child. These are some of the indicators of physical abuse. There are a lot of them, so take a few moments to read through them before moving on. Pause the video if you need to. Sexual abuse is where a child is forced or persuaded to take part in sexual activities. This may include rape or other physical contact such as kissing and touching either inside or outside of clothing. It's important to recognize that children may not understand what's happening to them, or realize that it's wrong. Here's some of the signs of sexual abuse. Remember, this is not a definitive list. Take a few moments to read through them before moving on. Pause the video if you need to. Emotional abuse is the next category. This is where a child is belittled, humiliated, isolated, or ignored. Emotional abuse is the second most common reason for children needing protection from abuse in the UK. There often aren't any obvious physical symptoms of emotional abuse or neglect, but you may spot signs in a child's actions or emotions. Changes in emotions are a normal part of growing up, so it can be really difficult to tell if a child is being emotionally abused. Neglect is the failure to meet a child's basic needs. A child may be left hungry or dirty, without the right clothing, shelter, supervision, medical or health care. Neglect is the most common form of abuse, both across the Rochdale Borough and across the UK. Here are some of the behaviours a child may exhibit if they are being neglected. Thank you for watching part 2 of the 4-part Basic Awareness of Child Safeguarding presentation. You can now move on to part 3.